Greg, you ready? All right, we'll call the meeting to order. It's 9:07 on August 18th.
18th.
All right, we start our meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to welcome everybody. We have our new town planner here, Donald Johnson. So let's go around the table real quick and at least introduce ourselves to him so he knows who we are.
Joanne Simsak.
Marcia Wagner.
Todd Donahoe, welcome.
John Breyer.
Ellen LaPrise.
Barbara Zarowski.
And Peter Fox.
Yes.
Try to remember that. All right. On the agenda, we have a number of different things. What I'd like to do is take the agenda out of order because we have two guest speakers, and I know you probably have a full day ahead of you, and we appreciate you coming. So first on the agenda is Holly Connors, who I have down here as a multi-talented local artist. So Holly, I'll turn it over to you, and maybe you can tell a little bit about what you do. And
Sure. My name is Holly, obviously, and along with my husband, Andy, we have what we like to call our mobile gallery and studio. We do all kinds of different art projects. I gave you each a little handout. Well, I thought I gave each of you, but I guess I might be a couple short up there. With just a couple of examples. And right on the front cover, I actually brought this one along with me so you can get some kind of an idea of some of the different types of custom art that we do. Obviously, custom art is designed for an individual. It can be, whether they want me to create an art piece that matches a room, or maybe they know somebody who has a particular hobby and they're impossible to get gifts for. They might want me to create something that's specifically for a person, tailored to their interests, such as on the second page you see the antique truck painting at the bottom. That was designed for, obviously, a guy who was into antiques and basset hounds, so I created that for them. Most of the time when people think of artists, this is what they think of. Custom art pieces, the piece at the top with the trees, that's part of my own series, a fantasy art series, as well as this was actually part of a working dog series. When people think of artists, that's what they think of, individual pieces created. But we do so much more than that. On the next page, you will see murals and faux finishes. I love to do murals. I love to do public art pieces. I always hope that at some point Dudley will have a public space that they want a mural on, that I would love to collaborate with some of the maybe school kids in the areas, or maybe the seniors in the areas that would like to do something like that. I'd be very much interested in donating that time and effort for that. So keep that in mind as you're designing your public places and park redos. But we do, you see the stone above the fireplace, that's painted on, that's not real stone. Tile, leather, granite, all of those things, in addition to murals. And those are obviously painted directly on walls. Every man needs a man cave. They have those types of things.
a Red Sox fan evidently at the bottom.
There you go. And that's Gillette Stadium in the background as well. This poor guy, right after I did all of this, he finally got his dream man cave, and he was transferred to New York 2 weeks later.
Oh, no.
But I'm sure it was a nice selling feature for that house.
Yeah.
The next page, you'll see a bunch of hand-painted portraits. And these are done on lots of different things, like obviously canvas. The upper right-hand corner, that's actually done on a keepsake box. And of course, ornaments. We get a lot of orders for these types of things at Christmas time. Many of the ones that you see with portraits are usually in memory of, for somebody who's passed. And we are always delighted to do those for people. And obviously wedding portraits, things like that. Last year, we did a wedding portrait that was very special to me. It was a woman who had complained for over 50 years that when she got married, they couldn't afford a photographer. And so her children called anybody who was still living who was a guest at that wedding and asked if they had any snapshots that they took. And we rounded up the snapshots, and I created a nice wedding portrait for her for Christmas last year. So those types of projects, always near and dear to my heart. If it has an emotional background to it, I'm happy to do it. And I try to put that joy forth in anything that I do. But my ultimate favorite thing, the next page, pet portraits. I love animals, and for animals that are alive, I love to go out and shoot some photography of them to try to capture their personality before I paint a portrait of them. If they're not living, I generally ask for as many photographs as can be given to me so that I can gather their personality. And as an example, this bottom portrait, at the bottom you see the two dogs, the yellow lab. Both of these dogs were deceased, and they had no pictures of them together. So I was able to do a portrait of them together, just taken from snapshots, that type of thing. And furniture and gifts on the next page. Those little rocking chairs, story time chairs. People ask me to do timeout chairs. I won't do those, but I will do story time chairs. I try to do only things with a positive bent. So no timeout chairs for me. And lastly, paint parties, and this is probably what I'm here to talk about the most. A couple of years ago, we started doing the paint parties, and basically, if you're not familiar with those, it's where normally you see them done at a paint bar or something like that, but we go out to people. We either go out to their houses or to a bar, tavern, restaurant, that type of thing. And I teach a class to a group of people, and we step by step by step all paint the same painting. When we first started doing those, they were such a hit and kind of brought me to a level in my art income that I never expected that I would get to. You know, starving artist is a real thing for a real reason. But they really did bring us over a threshold that I thought was like a dream threshold for me. And so at the end of that first year, my husband and I, we talked about our upcoming goals, and we decided from that point forward that we were going to donate anywhere from 25 to 40% of our paint party income to different causes. And we've been able to do that ever since. So every time we do a paint party, whether it is for a designated fundraiser, you know, we have had people contact us to help raise money for their Avon walk, or for a family member that has mounting medical expenses. We did a paint party to raise money for a boy who wanted to play saxophone but couldn't afford the rental or to buy one, so we funded that for him. Those are designated fundraisers, but even when they're not, even when we're just going to do a couple's night or a girl's night or a children's birthday party or whatever, we take a portion of those funds and we donate it to different causes. We did a couple of years with Wounded Warriors. We were going out on Tuesdays out to the cancer center out in Southbridge and painting with the chemo patients so that they had something to do during those hours and hours and hours of getting chemo. This year we've been sponsoring a lot of children's summer camps where we go out and we can have them paint, and you know, they normally wouldn't be able to do that, and they think it's very cool. You know, they have their easel and they feel very official, and it helps them, you know, solidify a dream maybe in their mind that they weren't able to get. A lot of them are for school systems where they had to cut out some of the art programs. But any legitimate cause we're happy to raise money for and donate money to. I tell people, you know, we won't help you go on a cruise, but anything that you know that's a true legitimate cause, we're happy to raise money to do that. And we go out to, we've done schools, we've done churches, we've sponsored mission trips, we've done just, you know, halls where people rented the halls, although we end up paying the rental fee again. We don't want this to cost the funds anything. You know, when they do it, we try to pick up those fees if they have to rent a hall. Most of the time, though, it's just where we go out to somebody's house, and it might be smaller events. We might do a few of them, you know, for a particular cause, especially if there's multiple paintings that they want to do. We currently have a gallery of 80 to 100 pieces that they can choose from. Having said that, we recently did a 70th birthday party, and the woman's only interest was sangria, and I didn't have a sangria painting, so I made one for her. So if there's a particular interest and there isn't something in our gallery for the parties, we're happy to create something for the event as well, reasonably. You know, it has to be something that everybody can paint. And we also just started adding in the pet paint portrait parties. And those are a lot of fun. Those are where people pre-send a picture of their pet to me, and I sketch it on the canvas for them. So it's almost like paint by number after that. I'll tell them, paint this, paint that, paint the next thing. So everybody ends up painting a picture of their pet, and you can see this lady has a picture of her dog right on the side of her that she did by herself, and she's still in shock and awe.
That's pretty neat.
You really can't fail because I'm walking through and I help everybody. Even with our regular paint parties, I'm there to help you. My husband is there to help you. So it's kind of a no-fail thing, and we literally do it step by step. Do this line, hold your brush this way, do this color, paint this stroke. It's a fun event. Supposed to be very relaxing. Usually involves copious amounts of wine, but not always. I don't provide the wine. But otherwise, it's just a fun time for everybody involved. And we've had painters as young as 5 and as old as 95. So it's something for everybody.
Wow.
So I'll open it up to the board. Anybody, please jump in if you have any questions or anything you'd like to.
Where's your main location? Where do you work out of?
I have a studio in my house, but I don't have a location where people come to. We go to you always. And we do all of Massachusetts right now. And I have gone into Rhode Island and Connecticut as well, and parts of New Hampshire, but for the most part we stay in Massachusetts. Anywhere, we'll go anywhere.
I have a question.
Sure. Of course you do.
I just think I know Holly personally and professionally, and both circumstances, she's a wonderful person and a wonderful artist. I just want to know how can residents of Dudley find you?
Okay.
How do I know how to get to you?
Sure. We have a website. We actually have a couple of websites, but the easiest way to find us, the name of my art company is Blue Hasty Art, but the easiest way to find us is to go to www.paintwithblue.com. It's easier to remember than Blue Hasty.
www.paintwithblue.com.
Correct. And again, for anybody who's hurting, needs money, or even just if you need a fun night, we do couples nights, girls nights, bridal showers, which is a lot of fun. We have a separate painting up front when we do a bridal shower that the bride can't see, and everybody takes turns coming up to paint a little piece of it, and we tell her she has to hang it on her wall whether she likes it or not. So, I tell people if you don't really like her, mess up your spot or something. Just kidding.
Do you have a business card with you?
I do. I have many business cards
If you
with
could
me. I'll be
leave
happy
some
to
for
hand
us,
those
that
up.
would be a big
Absolutely.
help.
Absolutely.
And also, obviously, like Barbara, we are in the same networking group, a BNI group, and we meet every Thursday morning in Charlton. But Holly, it's obvious that not only are you extremely talented, but you give a lot back.
We try.
I think that's pretty amazing. I would like to, and I don't know if anybody on the board knows, not just in regards to the painting party, what you touched upon with the murals in regards to public buildings. I know I've been to a number of either town halls or public libraries where they have these, wonderful pieces, and it could be something about the history of the town or something like that. And I think that would be awesome to have somebody who's local, to support a local artist in regards to, the town of Dudley supporting you, but also helping to promote everything that you do, not just your business, but, you're obviously somebody that's not just in it for the money, but also to give back to the community. So I think that that's pretty amazing. Thank you.
We're very blessed. So.
And I'll just add, my daughters and my wife are big fans of those paint parties, especially when ones with the wine involved. But
Well, the interesting thing, not to cut you off, but the reason that we started doing them going to people's houses is because there is so much wine involved. And we were concerned about people that go to a pub or a restaurant or wherever and they're drinking all that wine and then they're driving after. So we thought we'll do it at people's houses where they have time to settle and eat and mingle after. So, yeah, the wine was actually one of the catalysts to the decision to start doing these as a we'll bring ourselves to
yeah,
you.
that's actually a good idea. But yeah, she decorated her whole apartment with hers, and what's neat about it is everyone's sometimes looking at the same thing, and it's amazing to see the differences of what
Absolutely.
people actually comes out on canvas.
Yep, and their interpretation, not just of what I'm doing, but what they hear me saying comes out on the canvas. Everybody's, you know that they've all painted the same thing, but they're all very, very different.
Yeah.
And, you know, people paint differently. They have more pressure. They put more paint, heavier paint, so they all come out different. And it's always a pleasure. The most pleasant surprise to me were the children. I really, when we first thought about doing kids' parties, I thought, oh no, what am I getting myself into? But they're really wonderful and spectacular at this. They are completely joyful and non-judgmental about themselves, and their little paintings come out. I tell the parents, you know, you should really look into selling that. That thing is amazing, you know, because they're so joyful and they just express themselves so freely. So we really do enjoy the kids' parties as well.
And what about, you know, affordability? You know, if someone's putting together, you know, wants something for like a kid's party and you have like 10 kids, is it something that the average family can afford?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do a package deal for the first 5 children, and then it's, I think I want to say $20, it's on my website, $20 per child after that. But what's happening is I'm doing that birthday party.
Yeah.
The parents are supplying the cake, but I'm coming in and I'm doing the birthday party. The parents get to sit in the background and they don't have to do anything, and there's no one running around screaming, breaking anything. And their favor, you know, the party favor that can cost,
Yeah.
you know, $10, $12, $15 a bag is already taken care of. It's, you know, they're bringing their painting home. But most of all, the parents like that I'm doing the birthday party and they're not. We used to have packages where I could even do the invitations and things like that. We didn't have a whole lot of interest in that, but it's still out there. If somebody wanted to have nothing, you know, they wanted a turnkey, open the door, I come in, I bring everything, the cake, you know, invitations, balloons, whatever, that's available as well. And there's a lot of parents these days that are crazy busy that really, you know,
Exactly.
appreciate that kind of service.
Interesting.
Well, excellent. Does anyone have any additional questions?
Just when you think art, think about Dudley instead of the big city, and go and find her on the social media, Facebook, Twitter. That's my understanding, and of course the
Thank
website.
you.
And it's Holly Connors, Blue Hasty Art, www.
paintwithblue.com.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Holly. Awesome.
Nicely
Great,
done.
great, great, great.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, Christopher Treadwell, owner of It's About Time. How are you, Christopher?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing well.
Thank you for having me, first and foremost, Barbara and Todd. My name is Christopher Treadwell. I'm the owner of It's About Time dry cleaning service. I've been a resident of the town of Dudley for about 13 years now. And about 5 years ago, I decided to go into business for myself. And came up with this idea. Well, it really wasn't my idea. My father, about 20 years ago, had started a pickup and delivery dry cleaning service. So basically, what he the whole crux of the business is very simple. We'd go around and set up accounts with local businesses. This was his original plan or business plan back in the early 90s. He would go to local businesses and basically offer a free pickup and delivery of any of the employees' personal dry cleaning. Didn't matter if it was a one-person office or a 200-person office. It was just a free service to basically give the employees an opportunity to save them some time in their busy day. So it was an interesting business plan. He grew it pretty quickly and ended up selling his half to his business partner, and then moved us up to upstate New York for a couple of years. And then we came back and he got into some other business ventures, and it was just always one of those things that I remember as a little kid going with him on his route runs when I was, when school was out of session or whatnot. So we had been talking about it for a while, and I decided to jump in. And so 2011, I started It's About Time dry cleaning, and with the same premise of offering a free pickup and delivery to local businesses. And I've since expanded out. My service areas go from, on a given day, I can go from Sturbridge and end my day out in Westboro. So I pretty much canvass all of that area, including those in between. And not only do I service businesses, I also have some residential accounts as well. And it's just a just an awesome, opportunity to offer some type of free service for the people. All they have to do is pay the dry cleaning costs. So it's grown every single year since I've had it, and I've actually about a year ago opened a dry cleaning drop store in Southbridge after the two dry cleaners decided to close at the same time in town over there. I decided that was my next step, was to open up a dry cleaning drop store and take advantage of that. So now have that, but I still service my daily accounts, including service accounts at like Old Sturbridge Village, a couple of Herb Chambers car dealerships. Some of the local accounts I have are I've gone to Stoke High Insurance a few times for some special pickups. Tri-Valley Inc. is another account of mine. Mr. Response Electric, he's another account. So Dudley Family Dental, it's another one that I also service. So that's a basic. It's the basic breakdown of what my business is. It's pretty simple. I'm just here to basically provide a pickup and delivery of everybody's personal dry cleaning. So
again, I'll open it up to questions. Just jump in.
One of the other accounts that Chris services is Hometown Banker, now
right.
Bank Hometown. We are also in the same networking group, and I've known Chris for several years now. But I can tell you right now that that the service is amazing. He goes to all the different branches at Hometown Bank. To be able to just drop off my bag and come back a couple of days later and have it just be personally delivered is a big advantage. He's very, very well liked. He's extremely professional. And it's just if anybody in the area, whether it be here at the town hall or any other businesses in the greater Dudley area, he does have an amazing new storefront, like he said, on Hamilton Street, right, in Southbridge, and it's just it's great, and hopefully we can spread the word, especially in Dudley. And I know you've lived in Dudley for a number of years, but we can just do whatever we can to let people know about your services, because I know you already service a lot of the different businesses and residents too. It's not just businesses that
Correct.
you service. So thanks. It's great that you're here, Chris. Really appreciate it.
I have used Chris for many years. Exceptional service. He also does shoe repair.
Yes.
If anybody has a wedding gown, high looming, any type of a communion dresses people might be interested in. And the question that I always get from my office is it gonna cost me any more than just the regular dry cleaning fee would be for the garment? No. There's no additional fee.
No.
The price is exactly the same as any local dry cleaners. Chris absorbs that fee for delivery, for pickup and delivery. I have a question.
sure.
When you were shopping to open up the store, why would you choose Southbridge over Dudley?
Well, first of all, Dudley has a dry cleaner, well established. I've used them in the past before Twin City Dry Cleaners, and it was my thought that the town being, it's a great town. I love Dudley. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to handle two dry cleaning stores, especially one that's already established. And with the town of Southbridge having two dry cleaners in that town, and they were established, they were in business for over 40 plus years, I wanted to be able to hear both of them closing at the same time. First of all, was a surprise and not a surprise, because I knew one of them was trying to get out of the business. But to have them close at the same time, I thought that provided me with a tremendous business opportunity that I wanted to take advantage of. So that was the basic, and I didn't want to try to take any business from Twin City Cleaners either, especially since they've been in town for a very long time. So that was one of my basic things, and I figured, doing what I do with the pickup and the delivery service, that was providing something different than what they were providing. They were, they have their standalone cleaning spot with the laundromat. I figured, I'm mobile, so I'm going to be able to travel anywhere throughout the Central Mass. I even go into Connecticut and for a couple of accounts, but that was basically my reasoning for it. But I will be happy to, anybody that is either not happy locally with who they're currently using or whatnot, I'd be more than happy to try to help them out wherever I can.
I have a question. Where is the cleaning actually done?
Okay, so so we do the cleaning. I've contracted with a cleaner out in Auburn, Dudley's Cleaners. It was actually the same cleaners that my father had used back in the early 90s, and that was, I've known the owner since I was a little kid, so that was kind of my way of getting into the whole business aspect of it. I figured it would be easy enough to, and he's such a large facility, he can handle any business that I bring to him, and he has up until this point. So, and which really helps, especially with the turnaround time that I promise my customers, which usually is about a 2 to 3 day turnaround time. In one case with Barbara, she had an insurance claim where her furnace kind of exploded and shot soot all through her house, and she had a ton of clothes that needed to be cleaned, and I was able to handle it, and we came down and picked it all up in a day, and then slowly got everything, as things were getting cleaned, I brought it right back to her, and we were able to handle it. That was a big challenge to see if it was going to be able to be handled, and it was within about 2 weeks.
And it was right before Christmas.
Yes, it was right before Christmas too. So in about 2 to 3 weeks time, she had
over $7,000 worth of dry cleaning.
Yes, that's a lot of clothing. If you're familiar with dry cleaning costs, $7,000 is a lot of clothing. So, but we were able to turn that around pretty quickly, and handling certain accounts like Old Sturbridge Village. That's another account where people, I received the costumes, and they require, that to be turned around pretty quickly. There was a children's camp that Todd's daughter was a part of,
Right.
And that was getting 8 to 9 trash bags full of full of costumes that needed to be tagged in and taken care of and returned within a week's time, and that was something we were able to handle as well with no issues, and they're very pleased with what we've been able to provide for them. So
Don't forget about the Hanover Theater. He had cleaned
Yep.
the whole entire costume set
The
for
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker in the Hanover Theater. Those costumes are in thousands of dollars worth,
Right.
and he did exceptional work.
Right.
So
And Barbara, just like you had asked Holly before, Chris, what is the best, if anybody in the Dudley area wants to contact you, what's the best way to go about doing that?
how to find
they could find me through numerous avenues. Usually, if they just Google dry cleaners near me, they'll find my website, mobiledryclean.net, as well as my Google Place with it's got a few positive reviews on it. That's how people have been finding me, and they find me pretty regularly through that. I'm also on Facebook. You can just look up It's About Time Dry Cleaning. You'll find me there. I'm on Yelp, and basically all the social media outlooks that I can take advantage of, you can find me through there.
So if I called you now and said, hey, I have a suit I need dry cleaned, what's the process? How long is it going to take?
The process basically is, as I tell all my customers, the earlier you can contact me in the day, the better. Just so I try to get everything picked up the same day that people contact me. Very rarely is there a chance where I can't get to you in that same day. I might have to come back the next morning, but if I pick it up today, depending on how soon you need it, for a Thursday, because the weekend kind of creates a little bit of a gap, but I could have it back if it was an emergency. I could have it back to you tomorrow, but I could also have it back by Monday or Tuesday the following week, depending on a lot of things take into consideration. If it's heavily stained or if there's something that needs to go through a few times, we can also take care of
So
that.
it's very reasonable.
Yes, very reasonable. And one of the other added benefits is we take all forms of payments, cash, check, even credit card. One of the biggest advantages of having a cell phone that's able to take credit card payments, that was one of my, I almost call it one of my sink or swim, benefits, because a lot of my big corporate accounts, people like to pay by credit card, and if I didn't have that credit card payment, not too many people carry cash nowadays, and they have to dust off their checkbook. But people have been very, very happy with the credit card transactions. So,
Any other questions? Oh, Peter.
Do you provide services for departments like police department, fire department, or highway departments? Because their employees all have uniforms.
yes, I actually service the Southbridge Police Department. They actually they have brought me in, and I clean their uniforms, and I give all of my civic customers, whether it be police departments, even the military, we give them discounted rates for their cleaning. So for a two-piece police uniform, we charge only $6.50, as opposed to what it would typically be for something like that would typically run like $8 to $10, give or take. We try to work with them as best we can. One of the things that we were able to do in lieu of the passing of Officer Tarantino, a lot of the local officers had brought in their Class A uniforms, and we decided to take care of them free of charge. Another offer we do is American flag cleanings. We clean them free of charge. So if there's ever anybody that has an American flag that you need cleaned, let us know. We'll come and pick it up and clean it for you free of charge.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Some of the benefits that we try to bring back to the community.
Excellent.
And do you have a business card also?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now, Holly, I'll open this up to you as well as Christopher. More and more the economy's changing, and more the engine are small businesses like yourselves operating out of the home and e-commerce and everything else. What is it that, since both of you live here in Dudley, home-based businesses for the most part, with traveling to your customers, what is it that the town can do for you that we're not doing today? What are we missing?
Personally, would love to get more of an arts program going.
Yeah, why don't you come on up, just so people can hear you.
I would love to see more of an arts program going. I know I've asked Barbara a few times about what does the town of Dudley have for arts, and she said nothing. We do nothing. So I would be more than happy to help in any way I can to get any kind of arts programs going, not just for me, but for everybody.
So, Peter, I'm just getting kind of back involved. Does the Recreation Committee, would that be something that they would handle?
They could possibly handle that. Also, I know our town library
Yeah.
is very active with their children's programs, and they might be able to
Yes.
enjoy your services, because I know if you look at their bulletin board out there, it's just changing all the time. There's lots of great activities going on. Maybe this could be one of them. But, yeah, and Parks and Rec might be able to get involved also.
Seniors, happy to
But
come out
libraries,
to
they've got a lot of resources, and they have a lot of high volume of children.
Okay. So just one second now. So really, it's some networking, and it's helping you navigate
and money.
navigate where to go in town. So if there was something on the website that said, okay, look, if you're a home-based business and you're looking for some guidance or some direction, to be able to call somebody.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Sarah.
The Cultural Council, they're always looking for somebody, usually around this time, when they get their grant. They start, hiring people for the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll have to get more information on that.
Is there anything else?
I think maybe some sort of, if the town could provide like a business spotlight, maybe, through their Facebook page, website, or even, if a mailing is available. I just a thought, maybe we'll start, do like a weekly or monthly, business spotlight of the local businesses in town, because there's a lot of known businesses, and there's a lot of really not known businesses. So getting that out there and letting people know. I still meet people locally that are blown away that I offer a pickup and delivery service. So something to that effect could help the economy just with us.
Well, one of the things the selectmen have done is every week they're bringing in a local business. And where we might have 2 people that watch our meeting, they have a lot more. But, so Peter, if they wanted to get on that, business.
See Michelle.
See Michelle. She'll get you on the agenda. So again, it goes to that kind of networking and how do you do something like that. But the website, having a business spotlight,
That's a great idea.
that is a great idea.
The Board of Selectmen have, in the last 3 months, and it's new to us, we've invited each meeting night a business to come in and talk about their business on television, because there's more people watching a selectmen's meeting than some other meetings. And it's been pretty successful. We've had a wide range of things, from people that make cheese, from people that do auto repair work, and so far it's been pretty successful. So we might be able to help you along those lines also.
That'd be great.
But the future is in the website and the communications and the computer, and but a combination of everything could help move things forward.
Absolutely.
Anything else? All right. Well, I want to thank both of you for
Yeah,
coming
thank you
again.
very,
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
For having. Absolutely.
Yeah, leave your cards and, all right.
Business cards and, all right.
So let's do that old business, the update on the Dudley brochure. Where do we stand on the brochure right now?
We have Dennis Craig coming into the September meeting
Okay.
to finalize, to go over any questions we might have. And right after that, I will go about the verbiage through with the people that are going to be on the brochure and to present how many of them we can fit in. He will help us. He will answer all those questions. We might want to meet with him maybe, before the meeting as well. I'm not sure, however you want to do it.
So there was a concern by one of the earlier participants that, the spec has changed somehow. So what I'm almost inclined to do at this point is to do almost a best and final offer with actual specs out there, send it to everybody, and let's clean up kind of any loose ends. Any objection to doing that?
No.
All right.
No objections.
And then the goal is that by the time the September meeting that we have is done, we'll be able to actually review and determine what we want to do.
Okay.
All right. So we'll get a best and final spec out there. Best and final offer. All right. Is there anybody want to add anything else on the brochure?
I spoke with Kelly. She was very disappointed. I don't know if she'll give us another breakdown. I mean, her price is inclusive,
No.
and we've been working with her since 2012.
Yep. Well, the best and final will give her an opportunity to.
Yeah, and she's collected some money from Nichols, which was $500. And she was wondering if, if the board decides to go with Dennis, if we would consider letting her keep that for all the work that she's put into it. She's done a mailing.
Well,
She's
well,
been in
you-
contact with a lot of companies. Like, next
Yeah.
month.
So this current person did a mailing on behalf of the board?
We didn't hire her to do any mailing, so whatever she did to enhance her business to try and move it forward, I'm surprised she was holding any money. Why she would have been the
Yeah.
person holding any money? That would not have been something any of us authorized to do on behalf of the town. Any checks that were obtained should have been turned over to the town, made out to the town, and we had involved the town manager at meetings on going forward on that. I think she has to, it is the cost of doing business and the opportunity, and she still has the opportunity to put forward her best and take it from there. But I'm kind of concerned that she was holding any checks from anybody.
She did have a letter from the selectmen authorizing her to do the mailing. They had authorized the letter that went out. That was in 2014.
All right,
She
so,
had permission to start taking pictures.
Well, quite honestly, again, it's the cost of doing business. There are people that I spend money to market property for, and in the event, if I'm not the one who sells it, it's the cost of doing business. So I'm not empathetic to paying her money for her trying to move her own business forward. But that's my own opinion.
No, I agree with you, John.
Yeah.
I know my wife and I made a donation to the brochure, but we made the check out to the town of Dudley. There's a special account that the money sits in. We made the check out to the town.
Yep, Webco did too. I'm not sure what this check was made out to. And I don't know that she's cashed it.
all right.
It's in, if anything, it's in escrow.
Now, I know you said that she was going to try to get in touch with me, but maybe what I'll do is I'll get her contact information. We'll try to get this thing cleaned up by that time as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Just- we used to call them alligators in a pond. It's an alligator jumping out here. All right.
I have a
Sure.
question. Excuse me. I've been away a lot of the summer, and I was involved in the brochure as well. And it seems like there's been some progress that I'm not aware of, which, I mean, I'm happy to hear. Who can I contact to get up to speed? I know that we talked about a theme, live, work, play, and I'm curious how that's played out, and would like to incorporate my ideas as well.
Yeah, it's still that original little team, you know, so Ellen, Barbara, you know, yourself.
Okay.
So, you know, as long as, you know, there's no issues talking to individuals, what we don't want is to have a quorum. You don't want to have a majority there, because then you have a meeting at that point. It's got to be posted. So to reach out to Ellen or reach out to Barbara, they can
Okay.
get you up to speed on the kind of, you know, real quickly, you know, they're getting away from the real estate. Look, the map is going to be more of a showcase piece for Dudley, recreational opportunity, something that people that live here can actually use as well. Businesses coming in will be able to see everything that Dudley has to offer, and then on the backside, there's going to be the highlights, you know, economic bases, you know, the resources that are available and things like that. So that's kind of in a nutshell. So I think, you know, the direction that the, you know, the committee's going in is a good direction. Now it's just the photos, the content, and part of the quote was the person or the company that we use is going to help lay it out, help figure out where the graphics are, and then once it's kind of all done, we can get the pictures, you know, write the content, and then have a draft that everyone can look at.
And I have the 3 quotes so far that we have received, and I have the list of people who already donated.
Yeah, I have that list too. That's great. Thank you.
All right. Next thing on the agenda was the mission statement. And I had sent, just as an FYI, in the Dudley bylaws, there's an actual, when they created the Economic Development Committee, there was sort of a mission statement incorporated in there, is there any reason why we wouldn't just use that mission statement?
Could you quote it for us? Have it with you? Okay. I believe you sent it in an email, and I
Yes,
really...
actually, we can, no.
There you go.
It's right there.
The economic, this is our mission statement is posted on the town website. The Economic Development Committee looks forward to promoting Dudley for business to locate to the community. While we strive to streamline the review process for locating to the community, it is our goal to promote Dudley for its historical, agricultural, and industrial potential, yet preserving the rural aspect of the town. So that's on the current website.
Sounds good to me. I don't see any need to change it.
All right. So then,
I'm
with
good.
that, okay.
Sounds great.
Neither do I. Yep.
We'll get on to the new business here. Planning for signage and advertising for the online transaction safe zone. We did have a meeting with the town administrator. Got rid of the word safe, all right? And it's just going to be exchange area. And we showed a couple of different pictures that various police departments across the country, including what even Webster has. Webster has I think theirs actually is called safe. We figured we wanted to get rid of the word safe because it's a sue-happy country today. You can't guarantee safety. And so just to say it's an exchange area under video surveillance 24 hours, and the town administrator was going to talk to the police chief. His inclination was as soon as you walk out, there's a spot there. You know, there's some spots right to the right, and to designate that as exchange area or police business. And that way those spots are always available. So maybe that's something you could even work with the town administrator on, make it just look good, and then we'll figure out how to promote it. And then also on the inside, the table that's there now is fine for people to do transactions. Webster doesn't do inside transactions, they just do the outside.
Okay.
The most successful programs allow both. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And then as far as once the sign is finalized, we left it up to, Greg to determine what sign they wanted, and Michelle would arrange that with Danny and the sign guys to get that manufactured.
Awesome.
So I don't know if there's anything else we need to do on it except to make sure it's incorporated in the website. So,
And when it'll actually be, the sign's finished, and when it'll actually be up and
Yeah.
up and so we can, like you said, let the residents of Dudley know.
yeah. So we'll take that off. New town planner, Donald Johnson. You're the most popular guy in town right now.
You lot.
So I heard you came over had some experience with Putnam.
Yep.
A lot of members of the board here like the redevelopment that's kind of occurred there in Putnam with that whole recreational, entertainment, restaurant. And so,
It's called placemaking.
placemaking?
Yeah. There's been a lot of work done in cooperation with the business association too. Between the business association and the town, the arts council, there's involvement there too. There's a lot of cooperation in that respect with the recreation department.
Shows, yeah.
And what's the initial plan? I know you got to kind of absorb yourself and kind of learn about Dudley
Well,
first.
One thing about Dudley is you don't really have a defined downtown like you do there, or either neighboring town for that matter, either Southbridge or Webster.
No.
So what have you done in the form of a vision, getting a vision for your economic development? Have you done an exercise in that?
We have been
Yeah,
talking.
please, yeah.
We have been talking, we have been discussing the lack, for lack of a better word, of the main point, main gathering point, the residents of Dudley. And we were talking about that land across the street from Marty's, with the access to the water, the long-term goal.
Right, we have, because, I remember, I've been in Dudley now for 7 years, and it is, you want to know you're in Dudley. Besides, the town hall here, there's no, town green, there's no town center, there's no downtown or anything like that, and, and that's something that we wanted to start to really look at in regards to how can we, that would be a long-term goal, but what we can do to make it so when you drive through, you know that you're actually in Dudley. So, that's probably a big project that we'd have to get a lot of people involved with, but yeah, we need to figure out what we can do, and anything that you can do to help us or guide us would be greatly appreciated.
Probably what you want to do is a visioning exercise, a visioning session, so that you, well, just like it says, that you have a vision of what you want the town to be in terms of economic development. What you want it to look like, what do you want it to be in terms of production, in terms of land use.
See, part of the problem with Dudley is a lot of people think this is the center of Dudley. Well, Dudley Center is actually up by Nichols College, and where Center Road is, and it's not where people normally do their business every day. But that's the real historical Dudley Center, is up by the college, where down here, you're absolutely right. There's no common, there's no square, there's no landmark that sticks out that says, okay, welcome to Dudley. And you're right, it'd probably be a very long-term goal, but it's certainly a goal worth pursuing.
And would that be something that, we could get, funding from the state, federal government or anything like that to help us, or is that something that we would have to work out on our own?
There's state funding available to some extent.
And there's community block grants. We did the master plan, and one of the reasons why we had to do that was that it was like 2000 was the last time it was updated or whatever, but was in order to get the block grants, you had to have a master plan. It has to be updated. But it's, I don't know if have you had a chance to read the master plan yet, or the Dudley Renaissance report?
I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff was tried, the whole idea of the Main Street, making it common area. And you'll find that residents are a little resistant to change. It was a very divisive issue trying to get West Main Street renamed to Main Street.
It hasn't been yet.
Work in progress.
But we're really looking forward to it because, I think everybody's at the point in town where, they want that recreational, they want that kind of place to go, but they want to keep and preserve Dudley for what it is. So, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Watch you start eating it.
I think a focal point or a center gives the town a sense of community, and we don't really have one in that way of thinking, other than Dudley Center.
Yeah.
But as far as economic or business, there's no room in Dudley Center. With the church and the college takes up all that real estate. So we do need to pick a center or find, like you said, Mr. Johnson, we need a vision of where another center could be and focus on that.
Maybe we want to work on setting up a visioning session.
Yeah,
that would be wonderful.
that's yeah.
When would you
There's
want
some
to do
well,
that? Any ideas? Do you want to do it like at one of our meetings, or do you want to do it separate? We do it.
might be separate.
Do you want to actually initiate it through the planning board, or do you want us to initiate it?
Wherever it's initiated, it doesn't make too much difference, I suppose.
Okay.
But as long as we have an idea what we want to do. I think it would be better to have at night,
Yeah.
more participation from the public.
So you're from public, all the various boards?
Right.
Yeah.
There was a program called the peer-to-peer program, and available from the state. I can investigate that,
Okay.
see if they can investigate some state programs to see if we can get funding for that. And have someone come in and make a presentation.
That would be wonderful.
We spoke to the gentleman who owns 104 West Main Street, and I guess he wants like $500,000. The fire department tried to get that land too, to build a fire department there, but that didn't work. And then there's also the overhead garage. I noticed the other day that they're landscaping it, so I don't know what's going up there.
Something is, yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Something is
there is a new business going in where PJ Overhead Door was.
Oh,
It's a monument business. I believe the gentleman will be appearing before the Board of Selectmen at our next meeting, which is this coming Monday. The other piece of property, there's actually two pieces of property there. The other piece of property, the selectmen did meet with that gentleman as a potential site for the new fire station. He's open for discussion. There's Dairy Brothers right behind that where the water department is, and then behind that is where the town beach is. And that is a prime piece of property. The other prime piece of property is where, just going up the street from where Marty's is. But that, I believe that piece of property, the gentleman that wants to sell it, is extremely expensive. But the second part, where the karate studio is, that gentleman was reasonable for discussion. It just didn't work out for the fire station.
Right. It's Arthur Schwartz. Behind the Dairy Brothers building, you can see right out on the pond.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be wonderful monument, some benches, some cafes on the side. I have dream.
104 West Main Street. 104.
So Donald, could I, because we have, put a lot on our plates real quick here. Is it possible that we can have you take point on this visioning session? You set the time and the date, and just let the world know, and we'll
See
show
what we
up.
can come up with.
All right.
I wonder if you want to have it, if the selectmen be willing to have it as part of their meeting?
With the who?
To the
Selectmen.
Selectmen is always open for ideas and discussions, and I have no problem with that. I don't think that'll be Selectmen's responsibility.
Yeah.
It'll be yours and planning boards and
Yeah.
stuff, but if this is part of moving forward and part of the future, then Selectmen would be more than glad to hear about it.
Okay.
That will give us more more attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some financials, the grants, anything to start up, budgeting ideas.
We have to look at that, too.
All right.
I'll work on it.
Thank you, that'd be great.
Is there anything you'd like to add or ask us, or?
Have you considered the regional approach to economic development?
We just got notified of the Regional Economic Development Commission gathering.
Well, Marcia, I don't think we can make that one, can we?
It's a planning board meeting the same night, so no, I can't. That's why I sent it out to everybody, seeing if somebody from town can make that, because it's the same night as the planning board meeting, so I can't go.
I can't either.
Sorry?
I can't either.
No.
Well, I'm sure, a couple people from here will probably end up going. So, we can, I can probably make it myself as well. So the more the
Check my
merrier.
calendar. Yeah, I'm
I just
interested.
want to remind everybody that Donald is, his hours are 19 and a half hours a week.
Okay.
And I'm sure they'll bury his plate pretty doggone quick. So I feel a little bad for him right now, because I have no idea what the planning board has on their plate or agenda for him to work on, and what you would like him to work on. So I just want to caution you, he's going to be a busy man.
Yep, understood.
I'll do what I can.
All right. All right, so we'll go on to the next item, is the progress of the new website. Fred, we'll see if we can do this. He had get to the main page. It might be easier for All right. I don't know, Barbara,
I can see.
we have to kind of do it on an angle here so that Fred can see it. But I want to kind of go through where we're at and where I need help. We had a meeting on July 22nd with Deb and Greg, went through it, kind of understood the server situation. It's amazing what Deb Thibodeau has done in maintaining the site as a volunteer. You know, you look at the progression of the technology and the internet and programming, and for her to do her full-time job and volunteer to maintain, extraordinary. And the demands that people put on their webmasters today, they want everything there. And so the big thing about this site is not so much how it looks on your computer, but it's also how it looks on your cell phone and your tablet. The new site was called responsive. So depending on how big the screen is, it's automatically going to adjust. All right? And when you're looking at it on a cell phone, those things that, you know, people are going to be looking for 90% of the time is what's going to appear first on their cell phone. Very nice, very clean. Couple of things. On the existing site, I don't know, again, it's a lot easier if you guys look at what I'm, can you see it all right?
Yeah.
All right, right now there's an about, I've reached out to folks at the Black Tavern and Mike Brannett. There's going to be a history section in there as well. Figured there are people that know a heck of a lot more and have more information and resources and pictures that we can add on to this. But I want to put something I have there on demographics. I sent the housing over to a couple of real estate folks. All the pictures on the website, either taken ourselves or they are royalty free. And you know, you don't need a license on them, so they're public domain photos. Something you got to always worry about. I'm just clicking around here. So a lot of these charts and stuff, this information was from the U.S. Census. I need accurate information. So I'm going with the most accurate information that I can research and pull up today. If someone says this information is wrong, give me the right information. Don't just say it's wrong. Give me the resource to get the right information. Volunteer opportunities. Right now, the menu up there is called Town Hall Departments because that's what's there today. I don't know. A part of me says I should just change that to Town Government. Please jump in as well, you know, right? Because you got residents, doing business, education, recreation, then the video center, and then I have town hall departments. So I just put town government.
I think that's it would direct people, help people get to what they're going a little easier as a, you know.
And it may not seem like much too, but by shrinking it down, I may be able to eventually get another menu item up there as well. All right. The main thing with the house too is there's what's called breadcrumbs. You can always go, you know, it tells where you are, home, about, housing.
Yeah.
And then if you ever need to get home, you just click home or you click the Dudley seal. And that takes you back to the main part of it.
You want to change what's existed today on the website?
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole thing is
completely revamp it.
the whole website.
Completely redone?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know a lot of people are accustomed, if they go on the home page for the town of Dudley and they can see assessor's office, they can click on that, or they see another department, they click on that. And you just want to list it as government?
No, it's, I don't know if you'll be able to see it there. Fred, can you zoom out?
You might want to come over here.
I apologize, I can't see that for anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen it.
That's okay, I'll stand.
I've seen it.
yeah.
I'll stand. Just had a cataract
Just see-
removed.
No, that's all
I
right.
haven't adjusted yet. Okay.
So when you hit about, you get choices, okay? Employment and volunteer. When you hit town hall departments,
Yep.
it's exactly how it works today. Except instead of saying town hall departments, we just say town government. and you have the accountant, the assessors, and everything else.
Yep, that's
Everything.
All right?
I'm looking at
And then under residents, we have a residence section that's going to go there for drop-down, that are everything from paying their bills to voting to veteran issues, senior services, library, dog licenses. The doing business is what I need to really focus afterwards on what we need to do here. Education, Bay Path, Dudley Charlton Regional School System, Nichols College. Need to have Nichols more involved with a lot of this stuff and us promoting them as well. Recreation, again, I've got probably 100 work hours so far into this thing. And a lot of it is taking all the information that's on the current website, retyping it in or cutting and pasting, and then doing the due diligence on, okay, here are all the clubs I know about so far that are related, you know. Because we talked about that live, work, play.
Yep.
And so even the theme, experience life in a special place, right? We have that flag, Dudley, a special place. So I wanted to incorporate a lot of Dudley's old history, but getting us into the next generation as well. And
Now,
so
is the administrator up to speed on that?
he has this. Deb is on vacation. I've been going back and forth with Deb. They just kind of let me just run with it at this point.
Okay.
All right? It's going to be, so as you just scroll down, well, let's go here. So if you hit the map, it shows you Google Maps, then you can get their directions, close the map. Search box will allow anything. This is ad space I'm proposing that we sell at a premium dollar. It's oceanfront real estate in the advertising world, as they call it. I'm not used to Apple, sorry. Right up front, there's a resident services. And some of the reason why it's designed exactly like this is, again, for that mobile device experience and the tablet and the cell phone experience. So these, we can continuously add things here, all right? Calendar, there'll be upcoming events. You have your Twitter feed's going to be there, your Facebook feed.
town brochure.
Yeah, so the big thing is there's pages and posts. Pages are a permanent item on the website. So for instance, a page would be your, I'll give you an example, the video center. So that is a page. A post is something that is constantly updated.
Yep.
All right? A notification, Dudley Beach closing, whatever it might be. So the other thing that I did is I took the most recent videos. The town now has an official YouTube channel. All of the meetings can be viewed on any mobile device, computer, regardless of the platform.
All the meetings will be on that?
All the meetings are already on YouTube. All right?
You don't need charter anymore.
So,
So the entire world can see us.
yeah, the entire world can see, doesn't matter. So those are some of the most recent ones. There's the archive of your meetings there. All right? You can actually start, this is the last Board of Health meeting.
What'd you have for breakfast today?
Oh, long nights.
Raw meat?
But it's important to the town, and we save a lot of money doing this, and
Yep.
this
This
way.
obviously is not up and running yet. This is just.
That's right. This is the beta, because
This is the beta, yep.
the big challenge is going to be converting it over, and then
It's
there.
unbelievable.
See,
Steroids.
what we're trying to do here is, the main goal is to enable those departments that want to be able to post their own events and documents to do it. So there's a whole hierarchy thing. So, like for instance, as part of the test, I'll just go back to the beginning. I uploaded the minutes or the agenda for the economic development meeting. So all I simply did is I set up a profile for the Economic Development Committee, and it's considered a document. Economic Development Committee agenda, it's there. It's easier for me to upload it to the website than to email it to someone else to post to the website. The amount of effort it takes to email it, that's the same effort.
Yep.
to do this. So there's going to be a couple of different types of folks within the town. You're going to have old school, I want nothing to do with it, right? And it'll be a boring old page, and it will just basically be a stagnant department. Then there'll be those departments that really want to take advantage of it. And if they want to put their events on, they can do that. It'll update the website. If they want to upload documents, they can do that. And the permissions are arranged in such a way where they can't mess up everything else. They don't have the ability to delete anybody else's stuff or post anybody else's stuff or edit anybody else's stuff. But, when we were talking with Deb, she says so much of her time is being eaten up by uploading of minutes and agendas. And if we simply took that off our plate and gave the ability to others to do that, it's great. Other organizations will like it because they'll never have to ask Deb or somebody else, hey, can you post this on the website? Because they'll be able to simply do that themselves. And the interface to do it is just like Microsoft Word. It's what you see is what you get. So as you type your document and you add your picture, if it's the way you want it to look, we'll be doing it. What the goal will be is that if the format is good, and we go live, I'll do it over a weekend. Deb comes back from first part of the month. I'm figuring take about a week to kind of finalize some additional things. The original goal was to have it, even the beta done like September 15th. We're running way ahead of that right now. Mm-hmm. I'd like the site to go live somewhere around the 15th.
Does the rest of the Board of Selectmen know about this?
You probably would have known about it like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. We've kept it really low key. It was one of those things where just having experience with this, too many chefs in the kitchen, nothing gets done. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes you're better off coming up with something that's 90% done and then say, okay, this is what it looks like. Give people the URL, and then we do the tweaks. What I would love to do, I'd love to sit down here at Town Hall one day and have each department come in and say, okay, how do you want your page to look? This is how it looks today. Let's do the changes real time. Go on your way, right? And then when we go live, it's never going to be perfect, right? Because websites are always evolving. But yeah, so now's the time when we're starting to get eyeballs to look at it.
Okay, it certainly sounds good. But when the final package is completed, the outside public will have a new website to look at.
Yep.
And will that be user-friendly for the average person?
It's
I'll let them answer.
Very,
That is
very
not.
easy, very user-friendly.
Now, my wife's computer
very
skills
nice.
are at this level. Mine are at this level.
Real easy.
So it has to be user-friendly because we keep encouraging people, go to the website, and if they get intimidated by it,
Right.
they're not going to use it.
It's very simple.
Yeah, what we really tried to do here is throw the obvious stuff right up front. Resident services, the stuff,
Yep.
The goal with any website is the fewer the clicks, the better for someone to get to information. Mm-hmm. But there are some people that are going to really want to delve in deep and pull up old documents and financial reports. They have that ability to do that as well.
That's good.
But the obvious stuff, if you're a resident, you're going to go to the resident section, and you're either going to pay your excise tax bill, your real estate bill, right? You're going to renew your dog license, birth certificate, death certificate, marriage certificate, have some things for the senior services, elder bus, Meal on Wheels, Tri-Valley, view tax bills. So we're really trying to make it simple, but we also want it to be where whenever you do something on Twitter or Facebook, that it's updated on the website. As we have a section called the Beauty of Dudley. Now, that's just not the physical beauty, right? That's the people, the places, the events. So under there, there are certain groups. If say, the Council on Aging or the Recreation Committee wants to start a gallery and do like a strawberry festival and show some great pictures there, they can do that. Don't have to ask for anybody's permission because they're a part of the town, an official board. We'll give them a login and a user ID, and And I figure we're going to have to really hold hands for the next 3 to 6 months after the launch. And that's what I'll do. You know, people can call, because the more they use it, the more, in the long term, it'll make their lives easy. It'll be an archive, you know, an online storage space as well of all the documents that the town has. And you don't have the IT infrastructure to do it.
Sounds good.
You know what, I don't know if this is in it or if this is in your thoughts. You know what I would like to see? Some kind of a forum for the residents to speak.
Yeah,
up,
you know,
and a blog of,
I thought about the forum and the blogs.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. There are rings of Nigerians and South American hackers that exploit them and put the pornography and all the malware.
open, yeah.
You
so it's
don't-
not- Okay, then.
Yeah, the interactive portion of the website to the general public should be through Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, so we.
They have the
yeah.
security, they have the controls.
So-
It's-
yeah.
Yeah, if you open that door to the outside, oh my.
So our job will be to show the residents how to express themselves
Yeah.
through other sources.
Yeah, but we have a comment feature on this.
That's good.
And it's as simple as me checking the box and we can start getting comments.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's,
No, that's great.
there's a lot of nuts out there.
I got no words to describe how wonderful.
Scary.
job you have
Yeah,
done.
it is
Way more than I
scary.
expected.
Scary.
Wonderful.
And John, just obviously, I mean, 100-plus hours that you've already put into this
Yeah,
with your own
it's
time.
outstanding job.
Thank you very, very much. I mean, this is something that I know I couldn't even come close to doing, and, you know, we can't thank you enough for doing that.
No, and that's all right. That's what we do, right? Where I need help now, before we conclude the meeting, the doing business section. Why choose Dudley? Right? Look at the drop down: agriculture, home-based business, industrial, office parks, retail. I have the zoning maps on there. I have they can file their business certificate with ORA on it already. I need content for that. I need people to write why choose Dudley. As you see, why choose Dudley? I have nothing there. There's so much more that I have to continue to upload from the existing site and information and clean up, that if,
That would be the when you go about taxation, the TIF, right? All of those.
yeah, so,
Permitting.
and agriculture,
Yeah.
you know, if you're an agricultural business, why choose Dudley?
Mm-hmm.
I need the content for this stuff. And so,
Per business or per department?
No,
In other words,
For each.
oh, you don't know? It's open for discussion.
when we were at our last meeting, we said, right, let's have this home-based businesses, industrial, office parks.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want those sections to look like?
Well, we need a real estate section. That would open up for the open,
So if I do the
Business.
real estate section,
yeah,
how do I choose?
which real
Now,
estate we
Zillow
use.
will pay us.
Zillow pay us?
Yeah.
Then you use
But- but-
Zillow
but-
because.
But we don't want to do that because, right?
Because
we-
that opens up another.
Because then you're going to have all your Dudley realtors all over you.
So just make.
So how do I do a real estate section?
Don't forget Dudley's part of an economic target area.
The economic target area.
What does
Sorry?
that mean?
I didn't hear what you said.
Economic target area, it's under, it's a lot of things, but you can allow tax, phase taxes, so to speak. They call it tax increment financing, but it's called something else in other states. But basically, you can write down, for over a 10-year period or so, you can write down the tax amount that's collected each year until, well, the 10th year is at the full tax amount. As a business incentive, that's one of the things you can do. There's a number of-
So under
But
the
I
doing,
get sense.
but that's what I'm saying is,
So the
right?
section will be taxation, right? Section could be real estate and it could be taxation. Could be, right? Business of a
But
viable
we have to get,
business.
we can't think 10,000 feet anymore. We have to get down into the weeds. We have to actually create the content now to fill in those sections. All those great ideas we have, now we got to put them down in two, three
I'll
paragraphs.
fill you in on that. What's your email?
Yeah, just john@johnbreyer.com.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
Maybe you can assign each one of us individually to the section and let us,
I would put it this way, I'll take input, and the sooner the better. Any one of these items in the drop-down, if you want to do a Word document or an email and say, hey, add this, I will cut and paste, and I will try to make it look good.
Tell us what those sections are.
I
Every-
love that.
Yeah, everything from the town hall departments to residents doing business. If you just go to the website,
Okay.
yeah, you have the link. And what I'll do, right now, it's temporarily housed at, it's johnbriar.com, JOHNBRIARE.com/Dudley. And so even at home, willing to take input at this point. And if you want to help write content, send it over to me. So I'm going to continue down this path. I've asked to, I think Michelle may be trying to get me on Monday night at the Selectmen's meeting, just to kind of go through some of this as well. But like even the Selectmen's page, do you want your bios on it? Do you want when your terms expire? Do you want me to link to your last video? Right? I mean, what do you want?
Tell us.
Am I running again? Am I running again? I don't know.
All right.
Yes, you are.
So we'll continue, just go back and forth, but please, I need content.
Content, okay.
All right, I'm
All right, help
emailing
write
you.
the stuff.
I'll email you.
Then the future meeting we have scheduled for is September 15th at 9 a.m., right? Is there any new business? Anything not discussed? Chair will take a,
It's just maybe by that time we know if we should put Dennis Craig on the agenda as a visitor.
I would just say
So-
if anybody,
No
just send
conflict.
right over.
Yeah.
We were going to do the minutes. There's so many of them. We have to tackle them, but we'll do them at the next meeting, all right?
Okay.
Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that a motion.
Mark's made motion.
I'll second it.
One second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned at, 10:28. Sorry for taking you long tonight.
No, that's quite all right. Very impressive, John. Very-